Hi, I'm Tamara Washington, and I will be discussing the symptoms and problems that Ford was facing. You've already heard about the general issues, the main stakeholders, and the theories and concepts. The main stakeholders have an interest that the new CEO, Jack Nasser, is able to develop a new business strategy for Ford. It must be mentioned that the stakeholders were, and very well, should be happy with the financial standings of Ford. The Ford Motor Company was recognized as the second largest industrial corporation of the world. Revenues toppled more than $144 billion. Yes, I said that right. Billions with a B. Ford employed over 370,000 individuals in hundreds of countries. However, the global market was changing, and as you all know, numbers can be slightly deceiving. As Tanya mentioned in the previous slide of theories and concepts, that as new business models continued to emerge in the auto industry, Ford had to reevaluate and reinvent itself. Tanya concluded that the legacy system demands and processes had been outdated for so long that they need to be updated to keep up with the changes that were occurring or would occur in the future. Terry Takai, Director of Supply Chain Management Systems, had a decision she needed to present to the senior executives. She needed to decide on whether to recommend that Ford should move forward with a manufacturing plan similar to Dell. Ford was facing some problems within its corporation. These problems resulted from the historical business models that were in place. Ford would need to develop a business strategy to place itself in a position to be able to effectively battle for an advantage in the market. They would need to implement a system to lower the cost in developing and building cars. First, there was the problem that Ford never involved their dealers in forecasting demand. This resulted in bottlenecks in the supply chain. Therefore, there was a 60-day turnaround time. With the implementation of the 5 vehicle center orders, to delivery time would be reduced from 60 days to 15. Secondly, Ford was seeing more competition enter the global market. Previously, Ford had the dominance in the market, and now they were facing more global competition from auto manufacturers such as Toyota and Honda. With changes in the process, Ford would be able to anticipate seeing their current capacity, which was estimated at about 20 million, to be dramatically reduced. This would be seen with the transition from the push to a pull process. Finally, some of the problems were primarily based upon the historical background associated with the supply chain strategy. Ford previously had multiple databases of suppliers, and the engineers weren't even allowed to discuss price with suppliers. With the new strategy, Ford would reduce its suppliers to a base of few and very capable suppliers. And the final idea to stop the competition among its own dealerships by buying them all and making them look the same was an excellent idea to create a cost saving and an environment to produce a customer satisfaction focus. This was an excellent business strategy. But now we'll move on next to Carlos, who will be discussing evaluations and criteria, and then I'll be back with a solution and implementation plan.